Hello Brick Sculptors and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris and today we're going to do a follow-up on these guys right here. This is part number 20482. According to Bricklink, this is called the Tile Round 1x1 with bar and pin holder. Now I already did a video on this part and all my favorite uses for it. I'll link that right here and at the end. If you haven't seen that video, please go back and watch that first, because it's going to help make more sense of this video. I got a lot of awesome comments and suggestions about this piece when doing my first video, and there's one thing that I really want to try. And I've seen this done before, but so many people mentioned it in the video that I have to try it for myself. I've never actually done it. And that is using this to connect base plates to base plates. Here's what I mean by that. Now you may have seen this before. I already pre-did this little grid here. This is a 16 by 32 base plate. I've just got a whole bunch of white tile on there. And I'm going to plug these guys in. I'm going to put 4 on each side. Just like this. And then the magic of it, these little pins will meet up with the bottom side of another base plate. And if you watch this, they actually snap in. Not like a firm snap, but they definitely connect in a way that they're not going to come apart. See, I can lift this by just the top here now. That's pretty darn cool. This could be very useful in a city if you're trying to implement things with Mills plates and trying to adapt maybe older base plates to work with a more modern setup. Or possibly if you're just using this for a second story. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I've done it occasionally. It doesn't work too bad. But this is a pretty cool technique. Now what I did want to do is I want to check this just to see how accurate it is. My belief, just from my experience with doing things like this where they're not connected, is this should be about 2 plates tall after doing this. And I want to test it in 3 spots. I want to test a corner, I want to test the middle, just to see if these studs, undersides, are the same as these studs. And I want to test an end here where this kind of sags down a bit. So you can see if you look closely, it's popped up just a little bit here. It doesn't go all the way into the base, but then in a section like this, it does sag down and touch the tile. So I want to see where it measures the best. Now, the easiest way I found to measure this, because we have studs on top, we can't just slide something over it. So I'm going to put some tiles on here. And if we say this is supposed to be 2 plates tall, adding a tile should make it 3 plates tall or 1 brick tall in those 3 areas I want to test. I made this little device here for measuring. And it's just a bunch of tiles and a brick. And this is going to give us exactly a 1 brick gap to see how well this lines up. So let's see. Okay, that's a very good fit. It doesn't feel like it's pushing the parts apart at all, but it's definitely got friction, so it's definitely tight. It's not loose. That is a very, to me, a very true 3 plate high, 1 brick gap right there. Let's try this one in the middle. Okay, a little bit looser. I'll try to wiggle this here, see if you can see it. A little bit looser, but not bad. I would still call that good enough. Some people might not. Definitely not as tight as the corner is. Let's try this section here. Okay, now this is interesting. This one here, you can actually see the gap there. Not a very tight fit. So that was definitely undersized. That is not 2 plates high right there. Now why does this matter? It really doesn't, but it might. It depends what you're using it for. Now, if I was going to use this in an application where I'd want to separate these often, it might not be the best. And the reason being is these hook in tight, and they often will pull off when you try to take these apart with the plate, because they do pop in, and these kind of stick in pretty hard. Now that means if you want it to separate easier, you need less and less pins, which is going to make it less and less accurate size-wise, because it's going to sag down and touch the tile more. Now, if you wanted to make it more accurate, you'd use more and more pins. I would guess that if the entire thing had pins, it would be pretty accurate all the way around by my measurements here. But it'd be quite difficult to get apart, and these would pretty much be one gigantic 2-plate thick base plate. And it would be kind of permanent together, at least in a city. You wouldn't want to pull it out quickly. So, very interesting application. I think I could definitely use this in a few spots in my city. I'll probably be implementing this in a couple of things. But that was a lot of fun to experiment around with, and I'm glad I did this. If you have any questions about this, let me know below. If you have any suggestions or things that I might be doing wrong with this, let me know below as well. And if you like this kind of video, please like and subscribe, because I'm going to do more just like this in the future. And we will see you next time.